So with the NFL draft less than 30 days away, it really is that time to start taking a look at some mock drafts, something that I'm not the biggest fan of and something that I don't try to wear my welcome out with over here on YouTube. And I'm going to do this one with trades. And as you see right here, already got a trade popped up. And I don't really think that in real life a trade like this will happen. But if it did, it would be pretty obvious to me. It would be because New England would be scared that they were going to miss out on one of the quarterbacks they wanted, or the quarterback that they would want. And they would be trying to, go over top of us so that somebody else doesn't come along and do the same thing. I've seen some people posting these trades, and this is not the most insane trade offer I've ever seen right here. But this is one that gets it done, because if I were to accept this trade, that would mean that I would only drop back one pick. So realistically, Caleb Williams is already off the board. So realistically, it would be either Drake May or Jaden Daniels. If Sam Howell was still, in DC, maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. would be an option, or maybe a trade further back to get maybe Joe Alt or somebody like that. Maybe that would be on the table. But trading Sam Howell to me kind of signals that this team's ready to take a quarterback. So to me, the only reason why the team would turn this trade down would be if they believed that New England was trying to jump above them to take the quarterback that they wanted, which might be the case, but I don't believe that. I'm going to accept this deal, and to be honest with you, I'd be really, really happy accepting it. Now, instantly, as soon as I made the trade, they took Drake May, and I was hit with another trade offer from New York. And, some people may jump all over this, but being the fact that it's an NFC East team, I do not believe in trading picks with the NFC East at all. Main reason is because the buyer's remorse in my brain would never let me hear the end of it when it comes to whoever they got. Now, they may end up with a franchise quarterback that ends up winning a couple of Super Bowl trophies, and we end up stuck with the idea of this. I reject this, period. Now, real quick, this is only going to be a 4-round draft, so I want to make sure that I try to hit with as much value as I can here at the top. Obviously, it's a no-brainer now that May's off the board. You either take Daniels or you take McCarthy. I'm going with Daniels. Now, this is where different strategies obviously come into play right here when we get to pick 34 and we have a couple of trade offers, at our disposal. Kansas City's offering pick 64, a second in 2025, and a fourth in 2025. And the Jets are offering pick 72, and then second, third, and fourth round picks in 2025. Now, I'll be honest with you. That second proposal right there is very, very tempting. I mean, think about it. You add 3 picks to next year's stack, and you get pick 72 in this year. Still another pick inside of the 100, and you're basically trading the extra pick that you moved a pick back and obtained another first-round pick in the 2025 draft. So if you accept this trade offer, you end up with another first, another second, another third, and another fourth in next year's draft. Now, what makes this situation even more interesting is the fact that there's a couple players that are available right at the top of the board right there that have caught my eye. Graham Barton is actually a really good. McConkey from Georgia. Darius Robinson from Missouri is really good. Not to mention the fact that the guy, or one of the guys that I've been eyeballing, Kingsley Suamataia, an unbelievably athletic offensive lineman. But Kingsley's sitting there. Tyler Nubin's sitting there. I mean, there's players, man. Sweat's sitting there. There are players sitting there that are for the taking. Now, keep in mind, I also have pick 36 as well. What I was hoping for is that 2 tackles would be sitting here and I'd be able to get bookends. But based on the fact that I'm only doing a 4-round draft here, and based on the fact I already have that extra first, next year's draft already sitting there, you know what? I'm going to reject this one. And I'm going to reject Kansas City's offer as well. And with the 34th pick, I'm going to take Kingsley Suamataia. Now, don't look now, but New England has offered us another trade. Now, pick 36, pick 222 for their pick 68 and their pick 100 and their second round next year. Also, Baltimore has offered us for pick 36 and 152. They've offered us pick 62, pick 93, and next year's second rounder. The Baltimore pick is slightly better, but of course it's asking for more in return. And I realize there's a whole lot of people out there that just run goo-goo over getting more picks and, having more picks stashed till next year. Me, I like a couple of these players. Adonai Mitchell he kind of stands out to me. I really think the team needs a number one receiver. The guy's 6'4", got a set of hands, and he's athletic as hell. The kid knows how to score touchdowns. And Darius Robinson, he gets sacks left and right. So I'm going to reject both of those trades right there. And I'm going to take Adonai Mitchell. And of course, instantly for pick 40, I get 2 trade offers. New Orleans wants pick 40 and 139 for pick 45. And then next year's second, while Detroit wants pick 40 for 61 and 63 and next year's third, which is actually a really good deal. But I'm going to reject both of them as well because I am taking Graham Barton, who at this point in the draft, as you can see, is falling down the list. And I'm going to go ahead and scoop him up. And again, I get offers for pick 67. Minnesota offers 108, 157, next year's third. Tennessee wants 67 and 222 for 80 and 106. I'm rejecting both of these. And the reason for that should be fairly obvious and simple for you to pick out right here, okay? With the players sitting right there, there's absolutely no way that I would have traded this pick. You got Jatavian Sanders, you got Max Melton, you got Peyton Williams, you got Cedric Gray. And that's just at the top part, and that's not even looking at the bottom of the stack right there, because I don't need to look any further because I'm taking Sanders. This guy would be a difference maker immediately. I think most teams are probably like, man, this son of a bitch he ain't gonna trade with us, so we might as well not even offer anymore. And with me only picking the first 4 rounds, this will be my last pick right here. And this one's going to come down for me between Cedric Gray and Junior Colson. And I'm picking Gray. But I think we got a pretty players would address positions immediately. Jaden Daniels, arguably day one starter. I mean, I guess you could say Marcus Mariota could beat him out in camp, but I doubt it. Maybe, though, depending on how well he did or did not pick up the playbook. And then with pick 34, you get Kingsley Sumatua up there, and I'm going to tell you, that guy has an unbelievable ceiling of where he could end up. And I think he's probably going to be a right tackle, which is still a big need with Washington. And to be able to turn around and get Adonai Mitchell right after that at wide receiver, 6'4", I believe it's 4.39 speed receiver. Just imagine how good Terry McLaurin will be with a true number one in the building. Then being able to still get Graham Barton at pick 40, a guy that played left tackle at Duke, probably going to transition more to a guard in the NFL level, but the guard is a spot that's kind of in flux with Washington right now, and who knows who's going to win that spot out. And then at pick 67, being able to get a guy like Jatavian Sanders, who most people look at as the second best tight end behind Brock Bowers. It's a big gap, but the second best tight end possibly in the entire draft. And then turn around 11 picks later and pick up Cedric Gray, linebacker from North Carolina, who I think is highly underrated, a player that could have a good future in the burgundy and gold. And not to mention the fact you still have round 5, 6, and 7, and you picked up a first round pick from the New England Patriots. First of all, these first 3 picks start day 1. Barton, it might take a year, but he'll probably be in the lineup before year 1 is over with. Sanders, it might take a little bit more time for him to be able to come in and get the situation together. And Gray, they're kind of set at linebacker right now, but next year is a whole different ballgame. He's liable to start year 2. You're likely looking at 6 players right here who are going to start within a small amount of time. I take all these mock drafts with a grain of salt. I don't really pay attention to a lot of them. For me, it's just another tool to be able to see some of these prospects and see what they bring to the table. I think beyond maybe the first round, it's probably the chances you getting these things right are astronomical. You have a better chance of hitting the lottery than getting all your picks right. That said, it'll probably be a couple more weeks and I'll come out with another one of these. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments. Y'all take it easy. Peace.